Hello everyone, good to see you again. My name is Ning Ding from the International Business School of Hangzhou University of Applied Sciences. This tutorial is especially made for those who need to have student defense and presentation online. I would like to share some tips with you. In this video, I will go through the following topics. First, we need to understand what is the difference between online presentation defense of the students and our own online teaching. After knowing that, we can select the appropriate digital alternatives and see how we can make use of that. Hereby, I would like to recommend two options: Blackboard Collaborate Ultra and also the Microsoft Teams Zoom. The second one, Microsoft Teams Zoom, can also be used for your mass lecture and online courses. Sometimes we also need to videotape our students' online defense for accreditation or for potential exam board cases. So how can we videotape it? At last, I would like to use my own expertise to share some instructional tips with you when you are going to conduct online defense for the students. The first topic is we need to distinguish online presentation defense from the student perspective and also online teaching from our teacher's perspective. In students' presentation defense, our role is no longer an instructor, but we give the floor to the students. So we are the moderator instead of the teacher. In comparison with traditional classroom defense or presentation, we find it is quite difficult to feel where the students are, and I want to see them. And thanks to the modern technology, we can use the online camera. We can always ask the students to switch on their own camera, and then we can see them. For the presentation, no matter for the individual thesis defense or for the group project, students may ask that they want to share their PowerPoint, their Word document, or their PDF files as the presentation materials. And this task, in comparison with online teaching lectures, may need more privacy. For example, students' graduation project defense. It concerns some confidential details of the company, so we need to protect that. But at the same time, we also may need to videotape it. It seems to be more needed than the online teaching tasks. It's not only for our accreditation consideration, but also for the potential exam board cases. And for the student presentation and defense online, we may have a group presentation or defense. That means a group of 4 to 6 students will present. We may also have individual presentation or defense. The example for that is for the group project or for bachelor master thesis, which is individual task. And thanks to Blackboard system, we have the Collaborate Ultra. In my other video tutorial, I have already introduced how you can set up this online Collaborate Ultra virtual room for the students. And here I would like to repeat it, but mainly from the perspective how the students can make use of this Collaborate Ultra to give their presentation as individual presentation or group presentation. I will show you an instructional video now. Now I'm going to introduce how you can make use of Blackboard Collaborate Ultra to have student defense and presentation. I'm now going to one of my class, which is a virtual classroom for the 3-year bachelor students. I have been using this one since the beginning of March. And here is the session option. I click it, and then I can enter this online session as an instructor. And before I enter it, I click copy guest link. Now the guest link is on my clipboard. And I will start another one, Google Chrome, to paste this guest link to pretend that I was a student. So in the Google Chrome, I enter into the virtual classroom, Collaborate Ultra, as a student. So I enter it as a student. This is a student view of the virtual classroom, Ultra. Okay, I'm the only one in this room. And now I go back. This time I'm the teacher, so I will enter it by click Join Session. So in this browser, in this view, I will enter the classroom as an instructor, and they call this as a moderator. Now I'm in the classroom, and if I click this purple button, and then I can see here the attendees list. There are 2 participants, and the first one is me as the teacher, and in this Collaborate Ultra I'm called moderator. And the other one is the one that I use Google Chrome to enter it, and this is the student mode. So this is called participant. Okay, at this moment, if I look into that, you can see as a teacher, I can share the files, so I can share the PowerPoint. But if I go to the student mode, and I go to share content, and then you can find that the student is not authorized to share their PowerPoint or other materials. So we need to give the student the authority to share documents with us, so they can use their PowerPoint slides while presentation. And then I will go to the attendees list and choose the student. I will go to this icon, attending controls, click it, and then I will select make presenter. So if I click this one, you can see that this time the student is no longer a participant, but he is a presenter. If I change to my student view in Google Chrome, then you can see now the student has the authority to share whiteboard, also to share application screen, and also share files. So here they can add their own slides or pictures or PDF file to share with you, and click share now, and then you can see the screens. You can share the screen with the students. And don't forget, for the group or individual presentation, you also need to start share videos, and also ask the student to click share audio and share video. So then you can hear each other, you can also see each other. And if you want to record it, you can click this one and click start recording. And then this presentation or defense will be automatically recorded for the future use. If you finish it, just click leave session. And then click skip, then you quit from that. So this is the use of Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. One thing you need to keep it in mind is once this one is set up, anyone on this course Blackboard site can enter this virtual room. So sometimes you may even find someone unintentionally interrupt the presentation. And in this case, because you are the moderator, you can always go to the list of the participants and remove certain participants out of the virtual classroom to keep the rest of the presentation secret or private. Another alternative is we are going to use Microsoft Teams Zoom. And I present this one not only as a tool for online presentation defense, it can also be used for your online teaching for the mass lecture or the group project. I'm now going to introduce how to use Zoom from Microsoft Teams to ask students for online presentation and defense. It could be also a good idea to use a Team Zoom function to give the mass lecture or to give the normal online teaching courses. So let's first go to our mailbox. And then I will go to the top left corner and click this icon. I can go to Teams. And here, if you click it, you come to your team page. Now I'm already on the page of the team. So here is the function menu bar. If I click these three dots, it says more added apps. I click it, and then the last one is Zoom. So I click it, and then I come to my Zoom page. For the first user, perhaps you will be asked to type into your Hansa mailbox or a password. And you can just use your normal password and also your username to log into it. And I click on my meetings here, my meetings. And you have three options. First is start a meeting, schedule a meeting, or share screen. I have already started a meeting here. This is for my own SPSS statistic courses. So I can click Start directly. But suppose I'm going to start a new meeting. Then I can click Schedule a meeting. And here I can type the name of it. So this time, suppose I'm going to teach Atlas TI. And I can also define on which day it will start and on which day it will be finished. A good thing for Zoom is they may ask for the meeting password. This gives a lot of privacy for you and your students. So if I click Save, then you can see my second courses or my second online communication alternative is set up. It is called Atlas TI. So suppose I click Start. Now I'm entering to the Zoom room. You may be asked to edit this app into your laptop. It is very convenient. And then you can see here is the invitation URL. So this is the web address that you can send it to your students. And if you click a copy URL, it is already in your clipboard. So you can directly use a Blackboard announcement or use email to communicate with your students that this is the online Zoom room that they can enter into it. As a teacher, I would like to share the screen with my students. So I will click Share Screen. I have a lot of choice. I can directly share the whiteboard here. And I can just drive the things here, Atlas TI, write something, Atlas.ti. I can also type something. Hello everyone. Okay. And I can also go to the top bar. So if I move my mouse here, then there is a pop-up menu. And you can see the green bar here, there's a microphone, so it's activated. But the video is not activated. So I can click this one. Then I start the video. So my students can see me now. Okay. I can also click New Share. So if I click this one, I will change the window to the other app that I have started. For example, I can go to PowerPoint here, and I go to share. So I want my students also to see my PowerPoint presentation. Then I can start the presentation here. So besides seeing the presentation, the students can also see I'm teaching. I can click here and go on with my teaching content. Yeah. Now if I quit from that, I just click escape. Suppose now I'm going to share some application with my students. Like I want to demonstrate how they can work with SPSS. And then I go to the top menu bar to click a new share. And then I choose the SPSS software. And then I click share. Okay. And then every steps I'm doing here in the SPSS, my students can see it. They can also copy that and do it in their own laptop. And from here, I can also see how many people are joining these online courses or this presentation. And the camera icon behind my name is activated. And if you want your presenter to also show their faces and also their presentation, you can just click more and to ask them to motivate that, to activate that. And if they will immediately receive your request. If they say yes, and then you can also see their faces on the screen. So that is very convenient for the online group presentation. We can see several students at the same time. Okay. Now I'm going to finish that, but I can also to record it. Yeah, before I finish it, so I can click record. And then the rest of my teaching will be recorded. Okay, suppose I finish this one, and I change to the other tab of the SPSS, and then I go to stop recording. Now I'm going to quit from this Zoom room, click end meeting, and end meeting for all. Then you can see that the video files is converted now, and in this file folder you can see it. So if you double click playback, media player, so then you can see the course is recorded, so you can send the audio, the video files to your students or keep it for the future use. So this is the Microsoft Zoom. It can be used for your student presentation and also used for the mass lecture or the normal group project communication. Okay, after knowing what is the difference between online teaching and online student defense and presentation, we have already know two possibilities of to go digitally. One is Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, the other one is Microsoft Teams Zoom. Okay, and this is one of the example that I use this Microsoft Teams Zoom to communicate with my colleagues. You can see how different presenters, their videos are aligned with each other. And now I'm going to compare what is the advantage and the disadvantage between Collaborate Ultra and Zoom. So first, which one is easy to use? As an experienced online teacher, I would like to say Collaborate Ultra is easy for the inexperienced teacher. So all the design is very convenient, very easy for you to get it. And it is a little bit challenging for Microsoft Teams Zoom as an unexperienced teacher. But once you get used to it, you can find it's also very convenient. And regarding the stable of the connection, I prefer to use the Zoom. And using Collaborate Ultra, I did have some experience. sometimes I cannot enter it, or some of my students cannot see my shared application. But using Zoom, I never have this kind of problem. And regarding using a whiteboard, because as a teacher of statistics, I sometimes do need to write down something on the whiteboard. And I would like to say both are very advantageous. So both, no problem to use the whiteboard. And regarding share application, such as I would like to ask my students see how I handle with Excel, SPSS, Atlas TI, those kind of softwares. And using Collaborate Ultra, you very frequently will feel the delay of the content transfer. But using Microsoft Teams Zoom, it's very nice. I always had very good experience with that. About the privacy, because in the Zoom, you can enter the password, while Collaborate Ultra, you cannot configure it. So from the perspective of privacy, Zoom has more advantages. These are the difference between Collaborate Ultra and Zoom. Let's look at how we can videotape and why we need to videotape it. For our future accreditation, for some schools, you do need to show how you ask students to give the online presentation and online defense. Because according to the exam board rules, most of the time it is not allowed. It's only for the emergency case. But then we still need to show that we do guarantee the quality of students' defense and presentation. So show a videotape the defense. That's the best way. Second is sometimes maybe there is only one assessor for the group project presentation or individual presentation. And we do need to have the 4I principle. So we wanted to have the videotaped presentation also be assessed by another colleague or by another invited lecturers. So if you videotape it, you can always ask your co-teacher to review it and to see whether your assessment follows the rules. And for some cases, students may complain that they find your assessment is unfair for them. So they go to the exam board. And traditionally, we only rely on the interview with this certain student and the teacher. But if we have a videotaped presentation, it will be our hard evidence to see and for the exam board to judge who is right. But if we videotape it, we do need to take privacy into account. We need to promise that within the coming 6 months, we are going to permanently remove it. And we are not going to publish these videos publicly. In the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, you can click on the top left button and to start this menu. And the first one is Start Recording. And the video files will be saved in the Blackboard system. And for the Team Zoom, and this is the button to start your camera. And you can also click More and to start record, as I just demonstrate. Now we have already known some technical support that we can get to start our online defense and presentation with the students. What kind of other things I need to take into account? First is because of this remote presentation, we need to clearly inform our students about the time structure, like in total how many minutes they have, and how many minutes will be used for presentation until what time that we need to go to the defense. So both the student and you need to have a clear script about how the time will be allocated. And before you start, please also ask permission from the student or students groups, whether you are allowed to videotape it, and for what reason that you need to videotape it. And if it is for the group presentation, that all the students, all the members in this group, they should be aware of the sequence of the presenter. We don't want to see that half of the way one student suddenly realizes that he is on the turn to give the presentation, and he is still waiting for the others, so it could be a little bit chaotic. And the student groups or individual students, they are not experienced to have such kind of online assessment. So the best way is you caution the students that they need to make sure about the order of the presenters in advance. And also for group presentation, because you may see several cameras in front of you, and you see different faces showing on your screen. So the best way is take down their names and keep a screenshot to match the names with the corresponding students in these cameras. When we are using the assessment metrics, assessment forms, please check whether it is still required that you need to assess students' body language or their eye contact. Because our communication is mediated through the computer, so we should not require too much on this kind of communication way. This is all what I have discussed about the difference between online presentation defense and our online teaching task. What could be the possibilities for we to do it? And why should we videotape it and how we can do it? And what can we pay attention to if we ask students to come for the online presentation defense? I wish all of you and also your students veel success, all the best, and veel erfolge. Okay, bye-bye.